Hello, it's the Irresolute Cartographer. This is my continuing series on building an underground base underwater, deep under the ocean. It's the ocean up there. So in the first video I showed how to get down here, and then I had a little short video that showed me mining through this area, creating this entry hall basically. I've pretty much run out of resources at this point, but that's good. Well, not good, but it's okay because I've got trees. Got trees growing underground, and I've got crops growing underground. And while they're not really growing enough to feed me just yet, they're almost there. And I was going to show you all how to build one of these underground farms and just the basics of tree growing underground. So I'll just do that real quick. Now, most of y'all will probably be aware, at least, of the way that the farming works and the way irrigation works and everything like that. But just for those of you who aren't that familiar with it, I'm going to go through it real quick. Alright, now you can see here that I've got soil and it's been tilled. If I were to drop this piece of soil here, you can see it's quite different looking. And now I can even till this soil with a stone hoe, and you can see that it's still a lighter color. And if I were to sit here and wait a minute, you'd see that it would actually revert back to its original state. Now, if I were to plant something in this, it would grow. It would grow slowly, but it would still grow, and the soil would not eject the seeds or anything like that. This is basically the way you have to grow crops if you try to grow crops in the nether, which it is possible, but unfortunately, in the way the nether works, you can't keep water on the ground, so irrigation doesn't work. So I'm able to get these crops to grow through the fact that I've got light around them, and because there's water under that stone tile there. Now that's a very specific way to do it. Now I honestly don't know if that's actually still required to build it out of stone slabs rather than actually building it out of. I don't think I could build this out of a stone block, but I could be wrong. All right, so first off, I'm just going to show you a little bit of the way water works in Minecraft, and you can still see. Okay, maybe I can fix my health a little bit. I'm still amazed I haven't managed to starve to death, but we'll see. Okay. Well, I know it's normal difficulty, so I'm not going to die, but I would get down to half a heart if I were to completely run out of food. So now I'm swimming up this channel I dug down here, and I'm having to fight the current, but luckily I've built these little shelves here. There are a bunch of squid. Okay. Now I'm up here in the ocean. I got a bucket. Anywhere pretty much randomly, I'm just going to grab buckets of water. You might be wondering, why didn't I just grab it right here out of the bottom? That's because this is not a source block of water. This is just water flowing. In fact, all of this water that's coming down here is just flowing water. This entire area would be open air blocks if it didn't have water flowing down through it. Now, if I were to put this water here, though, you can see that that's a new water source block, and you can see the water flowing away from it. Now, if I put another block of water right there, you can see there's now still calm water. That's actually a source block of water that's been generated from having a block of water on each side. I can grab that, and you can see it refills. That's the nice thing about water in Minecraft, is once you've got a couple bits of it, you can continually regenerate it. And I'm just going to do that here because it makes it a lot easier to get in and out of this this little well entrance here. Alright, now that I've done that, it's time to go fill the irrigation trench in the crop field. See, I dug this area out here, again 4 blocks of air for 3 blocks of ground. Now, obviously I haven't finished digging everything out there. That's going to take some time, but here's my wheat crop growing. So, I will fill this area with soil. And just real quick, I'll try to demonstrate what happens if you try to till dry. Oh, there. That actually demonstrated it for me. was going to try to demonstrate what happens if you try to till dry dirt without irrigating with water. Let's see, here we go. Alright, so water, source, flowing, and we got right there. And there we go. Okay, now I can till this. And this is just a 10 by 4 section of blocks. I like to grow crops in lines of 10. And something to know is that water will flow from an irrigation channel 4 blocks over. If I were to put soil here, it would not be irrigated. So let's see. Okay, I've got my stone slabs here. Just gonna harvest that wheat real quick. Oh, and the slime balls here. Turns out that I have built my base in one of the blocks that have slimes that will appear under a full moon. And that's something to know. Slimes will spawn in a swamp or under a full moon. So now I'm covering this water with stone because otherwise if I'm harvesting here, there's a likelihood that the crops will just drop into that trough, and I can't get into that trough right now because I got that stone wall up there. And I don't like the way it looks where it's just like a little hole in there, so I filled the entire thing in. Alright, now if you ever want to, for any reason, untill soil, you can just jump on it. Like that. But I'm going to be using this entire field. Well, eventually. I've only got 6 seeds to go in this area, so carrots, and I'm going to put these beetroot seeds there. So that's the way I do my underground farms. And I'm going to do multiple levels of these. In fact, most likely it'll be 3 or 4 levels, which means I'm going to have to go up because I'm actually pretty close to the bedrock. I accidentally harvested too much there. Anyway, if you try to harvest an immature plant, you won't get anything back for it except for the seed. And sometimes you won't even get that. When you harvest mature wheat, typically you'll get wheat and seeds, but it's not always guaranteed you're going to get seeds, which can be frustrating, especially like now when I do not even have enough seeds to fully fill this thing out, but eventually it will not be a problem because they generate more likely than they don't generate. So, okay. So this is where I'm growing my trees. The truth is I only had 3 saplings, so I was only able to plant 3, but I could fill this entire area with saplings and they would even grow next to each other, just immediately next to each other, if they wanted to. That, I think, is only the case with oak and birch. I could be wrong, though. Or not birch, yeah, actually it is birch. It's not true with spruce, though, I don't think. But you can do interesting things with spruce trees and jungle trees if you plant them in a block of 2 by 2. You'll get large spruce or large jungle trees, but I don't think this ceiling is even actually high enough currently to grow jungle trees. And in fact, given how close I am to the surface, it's extremely likely that I'm going to have to go up in order to grow jungle trees and things like that, because I'll show you real quick. When I dig down here, I'm actually already down at the bedrock. That's how deep this ocean was before I even started digging down. You can see here I've got the basics of the next level started. Alright, so that's the basics of underground agriculture and arboriculture. Just wanted to thank those of you who have been watching this, and I hope that I can hope to bring some more understanding about this sort of thing and just pique your interest in the idea of building underground, underwater bases, because it's something I really enjoy doing. Alright, thanks.